deeply rooted in our rich ancestral traditions. Spice Mass, the return, a celebration of life.
Welcome to Spice Mass 2022. Reviving the spirit of our ancestors through our traditional mass. Jab, the unique celebration of freedom, drenched in black. Feel the power. The rejuvenating sound of pan. A display of colors in fancy mass. And the rebirth of calypso and soca music.
The biggest and safest summer festival in the region, August 8th and 9th. Let's go to Grenada for Spice Mass. Call your booking agents and get your tickets today.
Live from the stadium that delivered that memorable and emphatic win to the West Indies, Grenada, comes the Dream11 Spice T10 2.0 cricket competition. 30 matches, 14 days of exciting T10 cricket action. 6 teams, only one will be champions. See the likes of the Spiceman, Andre Fletcher, Devon Smith, international players Kesrick Williams, Alec Atenes, and more. Support your team. Love the game. Dream11 Spice T10 2.0 cricket competition, April 5th to the 18th, Grenada National Stadium. Pure Spice of the Caribbean.
I too have felt the impact of this pandemic and miss the days of being able to socialize with the freedom we once had. But it is in these times that we must come together to fight as one people through getting vaccinated and doing what's right. I am Aruna Neptune and I am fully vaccinated. Play your part. Keep yourselves, your loved ones, and your community protected. Spice Mass, here we come. It's our time again.
And it
So,
Welcome back to the National Cricket Stadium here in St. George's, Grenada for the second match on day one of the Dream11 Spice Isle T10 tournament. We get set for the big matchup on day one, Nutmeg Warriors versus Saffron Strikers. Reminding you that those two teams would have met in the semi-finals last year, and Nutmeg Warriors emerged the winners of that match, and they went on to win the tournament. So it's certainly a grudge match between the two teams, and Saffron Strikers would want to remedy that defeat from last season. It is Andre Spiceman Fletcher versus Ryan John, two of the more prominent cricketers here in the state of Grenada, and they would be certainly looking to put on a good show for the teams. Pastor Warm, Nutmeg Warriors, Saffron Strikers, it should be a top encounter.
it should be, in fact, as you quite rightly alluded to, these two teams met in last year's tournament, and quite obviously they'll be looking to showcase their skills here at the stadium. The conditions are absolutely ideal, picture perfect conditions for good cricket, and it'll be a lovely duo. It's going to be a very special match. I think it's going to be hard fought. It will be obviously both of them will be going out for each other, and we can't really put our money on this one. It could go either way.
Yeah, so before we get further into the match, we're now going to go pitch side, where we had the toss earlier on, to get a feel from the captains and to share with you the results of what happened in the middle a few minutes ago. Welcome to the toss, match 2 on day 1 of the Dream11 Spice L T10 tournament season 2. We're here at the toss featuring two big teams, two teams who would have had a lot of success in the first edition, the eventual champions Nutmeg Warriors and the team who they knocked out in the semi-final, Saffron Strikers. We're here at the toss with us, the match referee, the ever reliable Mr. Carl Felix. He's here with the two captains, Andre Spiceman Fletcher, the home team Nutmeg Warriors, and Ryan John, Saffron Strikers. Mr. Match referee, over to you.
Gentlemen, this is the coin we are going to use. This is head, this is tail. Andre, you're the home captain, you would spin the toss.
So Fletcher tosses. The call is ahead, and it is ahead. Ryan John, the captain of Saffron Strikers, has won his first toss of the tournament. Ryan, the decision of Saffron Strikers?
We're going to have a bowl first.
Your first match in the tournament, I know it didn't end the way you'd have expected last year after having such a good start. Looking to make things better this year?
Yes, definitely. I mean, that's the way cricket goes. Sometimes it's up, sometimes you're down, but you just have to bounce back, and hopefully our team could do that this year and hopefully capture the title.
You guys had some strengthening done in the off-season, almost a new look squad. You'd have brought in quite a number of regional overseas players to strengthen your local complement of local stars. How you feel about your squad for this season?
Well, pretty much confident. I mean, the guys, even those local players, they're really good players, so it's just not about looking at the professional players. It's just that we need to come out here and do what's necessary to capture the title.
Ryan, so what do you think might be a good total you think would be on this wicket?
I mean, anything under 80, we'd be good, happy with that.
All right, then, Ryan, all the best, and we wish you and Saffron Strikers all the best at the tournament.
All right, thank you very much.
The captain, the man himself, Andre Spiceman Fletcher, back in the tournament. A tournament you have had tasted success in the first year. I guess you guys will be looking for more of the same this year?
Of course, we are defending champions, but we don't want to come here and just accept the title as defending champions. We have to show them the reason why we are champions and try our best to defend our title.
Yeah, when you look at your squad has the most retained players from last year. You'd have retained a few and also went in the draft and picked back the same squad. I guess it's familiarity. Who would have won last year? You want to ride with those soldiers again for another year?
Yeah, you try your best to keep the core of the team together. Yes, it's one season, but the players, they already know each other. So once you try your best to keep them, it was unfortunate that we lost some of the other guys, but I'm happy with the squad that we have. It's just for us to come out and execute as well as possible, and the result will take care of itself.
You have one additional big name to your squad, Kieran Kotoy, established winners Volcanoes all-rounder. Looking forward to Kotoy joining your battalion this season?
Yeah, we all know what Kotoy can bring to the team. He sets very high standards, and it's just for the local players to follow, try to grasp as much knowledge from him as possible, and it's all about learning. This tournament is not, I don't see just as a local Grenada tournament, but where, as we all know, it is broadcast all over the world, and especially India, I would say the second home of cricket. So it's just for us to come out here as players and execute, try our best to see what we can do and contribute for the team. And as I said earlier, the result will take care of itself.
Yeah, being asked to bat first today, what are your thoughts on that, and what do you think might be a good total you guys would have to set to defend later on?
Anything over 120, I'll take that. If I had won the toss, I would have done the same thing. So I'm happy with the position that we're in. It's just for us to put a decent total on the board, and then hopefully our bowlers can defend it.
Well, Andrew, we want to wish you guys all the best at this match and the rest of the tournament, and looking forward to Nutmeg Warriors having a successful campaign.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's the news from the middle. Just to recap, Saffron Strikers, they've won the toss and they've asked Nutmeg Warriors to bat first. So that's right. Just to remind you that the Saffron Strikers, Captain Ryan John, he called correctly, and he asked the Nutmeg Warriors to have a bat first, as the teams, they are out there in the middle. So too are the match officials. The standing umpires for this match, Titan Butler, Sean Manwaring, and Pastor Wom. If we're just going to run through the team list quite quickly, we'll start with Saffron Strikers, Captain Ryan John, Javon Andrew, Kem Charles, Clint Chateau, Dylan Douglas, Jelani George, Nicobi John, Michael Joseph, Lyndon Lawrence, the wicketkeeper batsman, Darius Martin, and Josh Thomas. Certainly a strong and formidable lineup.
Very good lineup, and they will be coming up against the Warriors, and we'll really see some warrior spirit and some striker spirit here this afternoon. Andre Fletcher, of course, leads the team as the captain. Akeem Alexis, Wavell Benjamin, wicketkeeper batsman, of course, Kieran Kotoy, Darrell Cyrus, the leg spinner, is in there, Huston Jackson, Sheldon Joseph, Donald McDonald, I always love that name very much, Keishon Mitchell, Alex Moses, and Shondell Regis. That's the lineup for Nutmeg Warriors. This is match 2 in the Dream11 Spice Isle 10-10 2022.
Yeah, so it's going to be, as we've seen in the first match, from both innings from the first match, it will be spin to open the action for the Saffron Strikers. They've turned to the off spinner Kem Charles. He will be taking up the action from the southern end. I think Ryan John tends to use Kem Charles as a sort of secret weapon. Kem Charles in local cricket, he has had a high degree of success against Andre Fletcher. I know you'd have dismissed him previously in the tournament last season. He also in other forms of domestic cricket, he'd have accounted for Andre Fletcher on a couple of occasions. So Ryan John will be hoping that Kem Charles can work his magic once again. And the opening batsman for the Nutmeg Warriors, the man himself, Andre Fletcher, and with him Shondell Regis.
Yes, and those are some of the things that you've got to pick up as a captain. Who is someone's nemesis? And if you realize that he has gotten Fletcher on a few occasions, I think the battle between bat and ball, the bowler has won so far, if you want to put it that way, then you should go with the person that seemed to be most susceptible to.
Yeah, so as they go through the final countdown, as we see the field for Fletcher, 2 fielders outside of circle in the power play. The first four overs being power play overs. The fielder 1 down at long off, and the other fielder is out on the cover boundary, looking to cover those areas where Fletcher is quite strong.
He did have a very good season in the Bangladesh League. Got 100 there, batted quite resplendently. Looked at it, in fact, and it was one of the best innings that I've seen him play in his entire career.
Yes, I think he finished the tournament being the leading run scorer. Big achievement here. Kem Charles, Bots has the first run up. It's probably like Fletcher is not quite ready as yet. His head was down, so he's back at the top of his mark. Coming off spinner, coming around the wicket, first up. And Fletcher opens up and hits that to the offside, and that fielder, that Michael Joseph down there on the cover boundary, is placed quite perfectly there for that shot from Fletcher.
Yes, it was tossed up. Fletcher used the width, reached for it, and drove it down to the sweeper position. And importantly, that fielder was stationed there. If he were not there, tell you what, that would have screamed to the boundary for 4. Lovely shot. And that is going to do a great deal of confidence as Shondell Regis. I always think that he's an underrated cricketer. You don't hear about him a whole lot, but Last year he had a very good tournament, was rather consistent, and one of those consistent players in the tournament.
Yeah, Shondell, former under-19 captain, would have also gone on to represent the Windward Islands at the under-19 level. Faces it up to Kem Charles. And the thing with Kem Charles, actually, that one is a wide there. He thought he would have gotten it probably on the pad, but that one slid down the leg side there. So wide signal by umpire Man Warren. And Kem Charles and Shondell, two lads from the St. David's parish, who are quite familiar with each other. So it's another mini battle between a bigger battle. Oh, that one traveled quite quickly there to that's Josh Thomas there at sorry, that's Dylan Darius Martin, my apologies. Darius Martin there at the fine leg position. Martin being one of the Volcanoes players who is based here in Grenada.
One of the things you can already pick up is that the outfield is pretty fast. That little tickle by Regis down to fine leg, the ball traveled so very quickly. I think it took not only us aware, Martin was also taken unaware too. And fortunately, if that were going Kerry, I would say 2 yards to his left or to his right, that would have been 4 runs.
Yeah, he ended up, he initially bundled it as Fletcher. Gets inside out, down to Mika Joseph, he goes! Andre Fletcher falls on a trap! The man down there on the cover boundary, Michael Joseph, he just had to take a couple of steps to his left to settle under that shot from Fletcher. Fletcher, initially he made a trigger movement across. Kem Charles threw it even wider, and Fletcher was not able to connect cleanly, and very good catch there from Michael Joseph. Andre Spiceman Fletcher goes in the first over, and Nutmeg Warriors are 3 for 1.
Well, you know what? He never looked like dropping that catch at all. Settled it under it very nicely, very neatly. And I think Fletcher was guilty of trying to open the face of the bat too much. If he had played it much straighter, there's a wide gap between that deep sweeper and the long off. You've got about 60 yards between those two players. If he had hit maybe slightly inside out, down to extra cover, it would have resulted in 4 in the end. There was somebody down there waiting to pocket the catch. It was well done.
Yeah, I think excellent cricket there from Saffron strikers. Ryan John knows the areas that Fletcher likes to go off early. He plugged that gap, and Kem Charles, he was able to deliver for the captain. You know, when you look at the replay, Pastor, Kem Charles, he was not flustered a bit. He saw the early trigger movement there by Andre Fletcher, but he held his composure and threw it even further, and had Andre Fletcher reaching into that shot, one he was never in control of, and he was able to pick up the big scalp, another wicket for Kem Charles in the battle against Andre Fletcher. Kem Charles, big wrapped on the pads there, appeal there from Kem Charles. Umpire Man Warren says not out. The new batter to the crease, Akeem Alexis, he's now on strike. And Pastor Wam, in his characteristic manner, we can see a bright fluorescent green footwear from Akeem Alexis. Certainly distinguishable in the field.
Yes, all of these players got their own little idiosyncrasies, their own charisma that they go by. And, some people just choose, certain things that would make them feel a bit fashionable, and others, it's just about what you're most comfortable in. And sometimes it's a combination of both.
Yeah, the guys love to express themselves through different means, as Kem Charles into the final delivery. As Alexis watches that one, spins across him. So it's the end of the first over. Very successful over there for Saffron strikers. They've seen the back of the dangerous Andre Fletcher for 1, and after 1 over Nutmeg Warriors, they're 4 for 1.
Yeah, obviously their tails will be up right now. Fletcher is always a dangerous player at the top of the order. And they would think, look, if we got the skipper out and the most notable and the most powerful and prolific batsman of the Nutmeg Warriors, then we actually started off on a good foot. So that's a good move. I also think the fact that that Kem Charles was bowling to Andre Fletcher, especially as he had gotten him out on several occasions before.
Yeah, so the new bowler from the Dabo end, that would be Darius Martin, the speedster from St. Vincent. Also, seam bowling options in the unit is Josh Thomas, who is playing with Saffron strikers this year. Last season, he was an instrumental member for the Nutmeg Warriors, and his first match is coming up against Nutmeg Warriors. So we'll look to see how he'll bowl later on as Martin to Shondell Regis. Quite lengthy run up there from the youngster from St. Vincent. Very smooth action there. Just a bit short and wide there. Shondell Regis would feel that he would have missed out on opportunity to get some runs there over the backward point area.
Yes, and outside of that, even if he had gotten it, thinner than expected, the third man is inside the circle. That could have gone over his head for 4. So I would think he would think that he certainly missed out on that one.
Yeah, very good. Loosen the delivery there as we see the feelers out for the Shondell Regis' shot, deep backward square and long leg. Certainly seems that he's looking to bowl the ball into his half. A short delivery, rushing Shondell Regis, who was advancing. I think he would have taken it somewhere maybe in the shoulder area. Or did he get some bat onto it? Umpire Butler says no, he came off maybe the shoulder area. So leg by there, and certainly it seems that Martin is looking to extract whatever assistance the pitch has in it so far.
Well, don't forget, he's a tall man, slender built, very athletic in his approach. He's got a lovely, smooth, rhythmic, poetic movement to the crease, and that augurs very well for him. Just looking at the replay, you can see, in fact, that he was sort of advancing down the track. I think he saw him coming, just dropped it a little bit on the shorter side, knocked him somewhere around the shoulder area.
Yeah, very brief there from Shondell Regis, advancing the quick star. Another short delivery there. Martin is throwing nothing up in the half of the batsman, and they would have to be camped on the back foot as he looking to bowl at shorter length. The field does indicate that he'll be bowling a bit shorter because both mid-on and mid-off are up, and with the fielders back for the right-handed Alexis are also long leg and deep backward square.
Yeah, he's got good carry too. And also considering the fact that he's a tall bowler, he's a tall man, he's somewhere around, I would make it maybe about 6'3", thereabout, about 6'3", so he's going to naturally get bounce. Yeah. And he's got a good high arm action too.
Yeah, that's right, coming from a very high angle. A normal length delivery, pitch delivery would even give an awkward bounce, a short delivery, and as Akim playing quite awkwardly, looking to work on the onside. Quick throw there. Oh, excellent fielding there from Ryan John to save that, because had he not gotten down to get a palm onto that, that could have been for overthrows.
Good alert movement on the part of the bowler on his follow through. It's not always easy really to run on your follow through and having to maybe go to your left or to the right, veer to your left or to the right, as the case may be. But Martin veered across to his left and of course had to transfer the ball into the right and swung around and aimed at the stumps. Missed. Great work by Ryan John, just backing up that mid-on.
Yeah, so far good success for the bowler. So far 10 deliveries bowled, 6 runs for 1 wicket. Regis back on strike, and another short one. Is there an edge there? The keeper goes diving. It seems that probably was just exaggerated movement after he left the bat there, but very good take there by Lyndon Lawrence behind the stumps.
He is a stocky wicket keeper. Maybe when you look at him, you would not say you would not want to put him into the category of being athletic, but that was goalkeeper like. That was traveling, just took off, and he had to hurl himself quite spectacularly to his left, and he pulled it down, both hands.
Yeah, Lyndon Lawrence is one who places a great deal of pride in his work behind the stumps, and he'll be pleased with that effort when he sees the replays later on. Another shot one, he gets inside of that one, hooks well, that's 6 runs. Fine shot there from Shondell Regis. Another shot delivery from Martin. It was sort of choreographed. Regis knew what was coming. He got inside the line of that one, and at the last moment he was able to play it quite successfully, and it's the first 6 innings for the Nutmeg Warriors.
You know what, Kerry, I would have loved to see that on the replay again. It had to be in the end a fantastic shot because it seemed to have hurried him a little bit. Fortunately, he got inside the line of it. Now let's look at this shot. He is onto the it was a bit awkward, but you've got to give him credit that he got slightly inside the line and hooked it off the eyebrow. Wow, yeah. It went for 6. That was marvelous.
Yeah. I think the replay didn't really do justice to the batsman because it was almost an evasive shot, right? Mm-hmm. But he got a big chunk of bat onto it and it flew over the fielder there at long leg for 6. So 2 overs gone, 12 for 1. Kem Charles will bowl his second. And Akeem Alexis looking to probably go over mid-wicket at the long on area. Ends up hitting it down long off for a single. And Charles, so far quite successful. He's a very interesting character, bowls with his sunglasses on, looks like he's just having the time of his life outside there, not too flustered about bowling against some of the big name players in this tournament, and he's enjoying himself at the moment.
Yeah, he's got the scalp of Andre Fletcher. You don't want anything bigger than that, do you?
Oh, Shondell Regis quite hiked that one. I think is the best explanation for that down to the mid wicket area. He probably was looking to hit it a bit straighter, but at the end, end up going towards the mid wicket. And Mikel Joseph down there does the fielding. So one more run to Shondell Regis, and he had a very successful tournament last year, even to the latter part of the tournament, because he was one of the guys who would have been able to carry his team over the line in some very important matches. As we see Alexis again looking to hit that one over the top. Very good catch there running in there. Is that the captain Ryan John? I make it to excellent catch there from the fielder at long off. Very Alexis again. He was not close to that one at all. Past the Wama ball slide going across his body, and he was not able to get in control of that one. Very good catch there from Dylan Douglas, the Vincentian player, making a mark early in the tournament, and 2 wickets for Kem Charles in over number 2.
Yeah, two very important wickets too. This time he just seemed to have held it back a little, didn't really push it through, and he was looking to hit that maybe over the long off area, didn't cue it all that well. Great catch by Douglas coming in. Not spectacular, but I've seen so many, when you've got to come forward, Kerry, I've seen so many players who've dropped those and still had the good frame of mind and purpose to grasp it, sort of doubled over, but made sure that he didn't spill it.
Yeah. Kem once again and advances down the wicket. Shondell Regis hitting that one inside out over extra cover for 4. Very big chunk of the bat and flew over the covers for 4. So not a boundary there for Shondell Regis. He moves on by 4 to 12, and the total now 18 for 2.
Now this left-handed player has a lot of skill and ability, maybe more than we really do appreciate. Advanced down the track, got to the pitch of it, hit it over the extra cover area. He wasn't afraid to go after the ball. That's lovely. You've got to be in an attacking mode within the first 4.
Gives himself some room, and at the last moment he had to play that behind square where Ryan John rushes in and does a fielding. Cannot restrict the batsman from crossing over, but Shondell Regis' intent is clear. He's looking to maximize the early overs, the power play overs. 19 for 2, 1 ball shot off over number 3.
Yes, and I thought that he has handled things very well. He's gone quickly to 13. It's 19 for 2, so he has scored the bulk of the runs so far, and a lot would depend upon him. But he's obviously in a very positive frame of mind today.
Yeah, Wavell Benjamin, he's on a new team, a former Ginger General. He's now a Nutmeg Warrior. Faces his first ball, full delivery, looking to hit that one through the offside, misses, and collect behind the stumps by Lyndon Lawrence, who just dislodged the bails to remind him to keep his foot grounded. But after 4 overs, it's 19 for 2. Kem Charles has ended his spell. 2 overs, no maiden, 2 for 10. Very good day's work with the ball for Kem Charles.
He could be very happy, and his captain obviously would be very happy with the fact that he has produced a couple of overs, just the 10 runs going from him and picking up 2 important scalps. No, that's what you want, Kerry, from your top of the line bowler, the person who opens for you, because it's the power play and everybody wants to get after you. When you can have somebody who within the power play can in fact restrict them, get a couple of wickets, and just 10 runs from your 2 overs, I think your captain, you yourself, you must be very pleased, happy with that performance.
Yes, as it's going to be a new bowler, as we mentioned earlier on. The Josh Thomas, he was a former Nutmeg Warrior. He now battles under the spice of Saffron as a striker, and he'll be bowling up to 2 of his former teammates who he knows quite well. Shondell Regis, earlier on we told you how outstanding here in her first season. In the 13 matches he played, batted 12 times, scored 314 runs, a high score of 55 with an average of 34.89. Quite outstanding stats, Pastor, in the T10 format.
Oh, absolutely.
And he gets the one pitched up from Ryan John, looking to go over the top. He probably would that one he tried to aim a bit leg side-ish, but as he walked there, if he had gone straighter, might have gotten a better result. But good start from Josh Thomas.
I'd be interested to see what sort of line or length rather that or combination of both that Ryan John is going to bowl. Whether he's going to be in contrast to his fellow fast bowler there, who predominantly was a little bit on the shorter side. I get the impression that he may just want to bring the ball up a little bit more and maybe say to the batters, hey, come get me drive at me. Let me see how well you're able to negotiate those deliveries that are pitched up.
Yeah, as we see a change in the field, I'm going to tell you about that momentarily as Thomas. Another short delivery slanting across the batsman. Wide signal there by umpire Butler. And the first delivery, he had that second fielder who was Kim Charles. He was in the deep backward square region and they had mid-wicket Clint Chateau shot. But now you can see a change where Clint Chateau is now being placed in square leg by the umpire. And Kim Charles is now asked to do the fielding on the mid-wicket area. So probably signals are changing length for the fine shot there from Kim Charles, hit straight to the field at fine shot there from Shondell Regis. Will be disappointed. That excellent shot, he was only able to find the fielder and not place it within the gap.
Yeah, that's the thing. He did get the ball in the middle of the bat, but if it goes straight to the fielder, generally, of course, you won't score. And those great players who got to the pitch of the ball and were able to just open the face a bit or close the face of the batter a bit. We're going to come back to that.
This delivery is a bit shorter in length, moving across the batsman. He's not able to connect. So Josh Thomas, so far he has started well. Just one delivery, a wide conceded of the 3 deliveries, and will be looking to finish stronger. Yeah,
talking about players, of course, who had the ability to pierce field, not just with power, but the sort of surgical precision that they got. And Brian Larry, in my opinion, was one of the finest of those. Very rarely you found that balls were going directly to players.
Yeah, he could have 3 fielders close to each other, and Brian Larry would find a slimmest of gap between them. At this one, he opens the face, guides it behind square towards the fielder at backward point. So far, a very good start there from Ryan John. He's not looking to bowl onto the stumps or keep the ball close to the left-handed batsman, making him reach outside the off stump. So far, good effort from Josh Thomas.
Yeah, just going back to the point I was making, Kerry, about the ability to understand. First and foremost, you've got players who have this mental awareness as to where players really are. Then they've got this ability to maneuver, good wrist work, could close the face, open the face. And then there is timing. Timeability is very, very important, how well you time the ball to get past the fielder.
That one quite played awkwardly there, a little bit of extra bounce played down to the fielder at a long leg, a bit of misfield there. Coming back for the second leg, rushing in, and I think Josh Thomas would not be happy there with the effort on the fine leg boundary there, allowing for the second run. So 2 runs to Wavell Benjamin, and as you can see past the arms, the extra bounce from the tall men, they extracted it quite well.
Yeah, that's correct. And with a shortened version of the game like that, you've got to be careful about your extras. You don't want to be very much on the wide side or the leg by side, as the case may be. Tight as possible.
Oh, hit down the ground, got inside of it, over the head of the captain, 2 bounces into the boundary for 4. It was not a pretty soft shot, but it was effective in the end. 4 runs to Wavell Benjamin. He moves on to 6 and a total 27 for 2 after over number 4.
You know what? He's not a pretty player, so to speak. He's not the kind of player that you're going to spend $110 to come and look at for the entire day. But what I do like about him is that the fact that Wavell likes to stay there and to bat as long as possible. And that's one of the features that he has. Every player has their own characteristic, has their own features. Some of them love to stay there and toil away and accumulate the runs, while the others that are busy-bodied. You couldn't tell Roy Frederick, for example, to go there, Kerry, and spend the entire morning just pushing and prodding. No, that was not his style.
Yeah, so we have a change of bowling from the southern end. That I make it out to be Dylan Douglas. The Vincentian, his first taste of the Dream11 Spice T10 tournament. He'll be bowling to the left-handed Shondell Regis, and you can see the spoils that is available to Captain Ryan John, that he's into his 4th bowler and he has not even probably entertained the thought that he needs to bowl as yet, because so far he has quite a good control of the proceedings at the moment.
Yeah, the run rate is just about 7 thereabout.
Yeah, Douglas going in and between the stumps and the umpire to bowl around the wicket to the left-handed Regis. Oh, that's a bit of naughty feeling there from Clint Chateau. Allow that ball to go through him into the boundary for 4. So not a good start there in the field from Clint Chateau. Literally, properly, the ball went all through him and he allowed what should have been a single into 4 runs.
Yes, weak effort, really weak effort. Didn't have all the conviction in the world to go down and pick up that ball. I think I'm into the middle-age span of life, I was thinking. I think even at that point in my life, I should have been able to cut that off, Kerry.
Yes, it was not the best effort there from Clint Chateau as we see the Douglas back again into Regis. Oh, short, faster, flatter delivery. Signal wide there by the umpire. That one was really pushed through. And it's a no ball. So it's going to be the first free hit. And that one is short again. And Regis comes inside the line and hits that back over his head for 4. So 4 more runs to Regis, capitalizing on the free hit. So 4 runs to the total. The total now rushes on to 32 for 2.
Well, you know what? When you've got a free hit, you should capitalize on that. And he flat bat hit that one back past the bowler, and it went screaming really quickly down to the boundary for 4. That was well struck.
Oh, that one was a bit slower. Sean Delry just looking to hit that one to the offside, and at the last moment he brought the bat down and went straight to him by signal by umpire Man Warren. So very good turning there in that one.
Must have come off the pad of wicketkeeper Lyndon Lawrence, because for a fleeting moment you thought that there was a bit of an inside edge, but the deflection was off the pad and they scampered away for the single.
Another delivery pushed through faster and flatter there by Douglas, and he's certainly mixing it up in that over. You could have seen a couple of deliveries where he thought it slowed the pace down a bit and got a little bit of assistance out of the wicket, and the other deliveries he's just pushing it through, looking to cram the batsman for space.
Yeah, Weaver maybe thought he might have missed out on that one.
That one comes slower delivery where Regis goes back and plays it onto the offside, where Clint Chateau does the fielding quite better this time to limit the batsman only to a single. So 1 more to the total.
Well, Chateau did redeem himself, didn't he?
A redemption from Chateau. That's the beauty of cricket, you know. You always have an opportunity, except if you're a batsman, you play a bad shot, you're out and that's it, right? But as a fielder or a bowler, you always have a second chance out there. And then another wide there from Douglas, again looking to push through that one. And the total moves on by 1 to 40.
Extras have gone to 8 though.
8 extras is doing well so far. And again, almost agricultural like there from Wivell Benjamin. Probably his first intention was to hit that over long on. Instead, he hits it down to the fielder there at the extra cover boundary, who does the fielding. That's Kem Charles. So they move over by 1. The total moves on further by 1.
Yes, this is where they really would want to accelerate the Warriors. 41 for 1. The run rate is just about 8.20.
Again, that delivery is tossed up, turning into the batsman, played out onto the offside. So it's the end of an over where Hatch had a very lots of action. 1 more run to the total. The score now after 5 overs, a 41 for 2. 41 for 2 after 5 overs. Sean Del Regis, he's battling away on 23, and Wivell Benjamin is on 8.
Well, Douglas would obviously want to chide himself for having bowled a no ball, and you've got to be very harsh on yourself when you're going to be doing that in 10-10 cricket. And in any form of the sport now, of course, where there's a free hit involved, it's not like test match cricket where you will get away with a no ball. But when it comes to the shorter version, so to speak, as we welcome Raphael Crony, you obviously got to be as tight and astute as possible.
Yeah, most definitely in this shorter version of the game, you want to be really spot on most of the time, as one would think is more batsman game, this shorter version. So you want to be really tight.
Yeah, absolutely. The field is much more spread this time, and the captain, of course, making sure that that everybody is where he wants them to be. And so let's go around the field. There's going to be a short third man. There's a man right back on the sweeping position, more like a deep extra cover. And there is also a deep backward, deep point, so to speak, and a long off, long on. So they're pretty well spread as John is going to make his way in, and he's going to be bowling to Regis. Regis who's on 24, and it's good to see that he's gotten off to a good start.
Yeah, well, he did have a pretty good tournament last year, 2021. And that's shown that he does have the ability to stay at the crease long and do get some runs.
Well, he taps away at the crease. It's Regis. Here is John in bowls, and he is off the back foot and trying to hit that maybe down to deep cover. Doesn't make the sort of contact that he anticipated. Got the single though. So Regis is 24. Good start here to this year's tournament, as we've got Benjamin, who tend to be the less aggressive of the two, comes in to strike 43 for 2. And the prize wicket, Raphael up Andre Fletcher very early innings, went for 1, caught at the deep sweeping position.
Yeah, must have been very disappointed. And one remembers, I think that he lost his wicket to Kemchal probably the same way in the last tournament in 2021. So he really would have been disappointed where.
Yeah, he's obviously something like his nemesis. Here is what's John in and bowls to Benjamin. Benjamin is getting a shot in the dark. That was outside the off stump and was sort of making room slightly outside the leg stump and looking to card the ball through the offside. Ball might have just taken the inside portion of the bat and went inadvertently down to backward square. Got a single though, so he's gone now to 9. And the Nutmeg Warriors, they've moved on to all the fours. They're 44 for 2 as the field changes over to accommodate the left-handed Regis. Here's John, some few stuttering strides, then he's there now into full-blown stride and bowls to Regis. Regis gets one full outside the off stump. Now that was a good delivery.
Yeah, certainly, and this is what I think John is going to be looking to do, to bring the ball right up. Regis there looking just to open the face and probably steer down that vacant position. The third man very square, more backward point on the boundary, and then the slip deep, probably second slip position, pretty deep.
There is once more in and bowls to Regis, advancing down the track. It's that. That's a fine shot. That's a magnificent shot for 6. Lovely use of the feet. I think the bowler saw him coming, but could do no more than drop it slightly short. And he decided to go after it. Now let's look at this again. This is a lovely shot. He's advancing down the track, saw him, dropped it short, went through with the shot, and lifted that right over the bowler's head. And he could only look in a rather helpless manner and see it soaring over the boundary line. He's moved on to 31. The 50 has come up 2 wickets down. One that is just onto the area of the hip area as Clint Chateau comes in from backward square. Picks the ball up, and Regis has gone by 1. He's now got to 32. It's 51 for 2. The Nutmeg Warriors.
What a lovely shot it was.
It was.
He really used his feet and pick it up on the up and hit it straight back over John's head for a lovely 6.
John to Benjamin. Benjamin pulls that down to the deep mid-wicket area. They've gone for 1. They will come back for the second. They've got to hurry. The return comes in. But this is great running by Regis. Really great running. I think from the moment he made the first run, Raphael, you got the impression, though he was coming back to the danger's end, look, I won this. And he was on his way back before Benjamin was turning to
yes,
to go.
certainly. You really ran that very quickly. And as you said, from the time the ball was played, he said in his mind there's 2, and he was really rushed back there for 2. Good running, good positive running.
Yeah, well, 11 runs coming off that round. John's over. Slightly expensive, but one could understand that at this stage of the innings. We've just gone past the halfway stage. 6 overs gone. 53 for 2. The run rate is rather healthy. It's 8.82, but they certainly will want to get it up to the 10 mark.
Yeah, most definitely. I think they would be looking to at least get up to 100, 110. They will probably feel satisfied. But Regis has been doing a good job so far. Remember opening the batting, and he's still there. Yeah, 23 deliveries. He's on 32. Benjamin just on 11 from 7 deliveries, and these two will want to push on.
Yeah, they've got to push on. They had a couple of wickets falling rather quickly, but now they've done a bit of restoration. Is that from the far end? Is that Martin? That's Martin back. Yes, it's Martin back in the attack. Such a lovely day this here at the National Cricket Stadium. Sun is out in all its glory, rather resplendent condition, rather ethereal, heavenly clear crystal day. And there's a third man right back on the boundary, sweeper, and in backward point. Then there's another sweeper, but this is extra cover. The backward point is pulled in, that chateau pulling just about 2/3 to the boundary, and the fine leg fielder goes right back on the boundary outside of the circle. Then there's a deep backward square and a mid wicket. So he's going to go right inside the circle now. So here's Martin moving in from the far end. Few stuttering steps now, begins to lengthen and strengthen those strides in lovely conditions here. He bowls to Regis. Regis is looking to pull. Doesn't make contact. Looked a little bit ungainly, rather awkward there, as that ball might have hustled onto him. You know what? Martin looks a little bit deceptive. He's a little faster off the pitch than you really believe, because he's hustled Regis on a couple of occasions, hasn't he?
Yes, he seemed to be able to get quite a lot of bonks from the wicket, and you see Regis there really was not in position to play that shot. One remembers him playing shot, probably trying to get out of the way, and he went down to the backward square for 6.
Yeah, he yielded 6, didn't he? Here once was Martin from the far end in bright sunshine. He's there now and bowls to Regis, and Regis is making a few trigger movements outside there, and in the end I'm not surprised that he didn't make contact with that. He was kind of moving outside the off stump and then pulled away to the leg side. I think that's too many movements. Just gives the bowler that advantage when you're moving so much.
One get the impression that bong seemed to worry Regis. Again, he's looking to pull away to give himself room for the short lifting delivery. Probably with the aim to hit it over the backward point. But really look very ungainly there as he moved outside the leg stump, and that ball passed between his body and the leg stump.
So here's Martin to bowl to Regis. Regis advancing down the track, and he pulls that down to the mid-wicket area and will get 4 runs. Well, yeah. What a contest here. I think we've got a lovely, fascinating contest here. Regis is really going to tear after him. And let's look at this delivery there. So he's advancing down the track, and I think he was guilty of trying to bowl it into the body of Regis, who was right there. Just turned the wrist over it and hit that over down to the mid-wicket area. 4 runs, so he's now gone on to 36. It's now 57 for 2. The battle continues.
Yes, he really intend to hit him through that mid-wicket, pulling away to hit him through that mid-wicket. What Benjamin did was to follow him.
Martin bowls, the ball goes down the leg side, thought about a single. That's Regis, made a few exploratory steps down the track. And Wavell Benjamin quite rightly just sent him back. White signal by the umpire. So 1 more to the total. He's now got to 58. Regis, this is a fascinating contest. I really like this. Who's gonna get the advantage, so to speak? We'll have to wait and see. So with the number 65 jockeying rather merrily on the back there of Martin. He moves in now and bowls to Regis. Regis makes room outside the leg stump, and this time he sort of kept his shape, so to speak. That's the bowler Martin. Didn't try to follow him, just kept it as straight as possible. And the batsman missed everything.
Yeah,
it was collected behind the stumps.
That is very important that Martin, keep his head, be cool, just do the basics right. With the movement of Regis, it really doesn't put him in the best position to negotiate, and therefore he just had to keep cool, keep his head.
Here once was Martin bowls, makes room outside the off stump, hits that inside out. The ball is in the air. Would he be taken? The catch is no, he's dropped it. Well, that stayed in the air for quite a long time. They did, in fact, come back for the second, didn't they? Yes, yeah. It was really airborne for quite a long time. 3 fielders were, in fact, converging on it. It was always going to be a very difficult take. Now, when you've got the fielder running back and having to look over his shoulder, it's always going to be a very tough proposition. And it didn't touch his hand after all. It didn't.
Well, it never looked as though that catch would have been taken. Actually, again, you see we're just pulling away, not getting hold, not being in the right position to hit the ball, and went up to the extra cover there.
Martin to Regis down the leg side. confirmed there to be a wide. So he might have been ruffled a little bit too, Martin. Not all bowlers know how to keep their composure when a batsman is all over the place, so to speak, using his feet and pulling away or going outside the off stump, trying to scoop or cut, whatever the case may be. You've got to have a great deal of composure not to be ruffled in the situation. 61 for 2. It's Martin again, moves in. They're now on balls to Regis. Regis is coming forward, drives well, fine shot, that's going close out to the boundary. Chateau is after it, pulls it back just inside, the return comes into Lawrence, a very good return too, and meanwhile the batsmen cross for 2. So the over comes to an end. It was a rather interesting over there, I dare say, Rafael. And of the over, how many came off that over from him? Well, he's now bowled his 2 overs for 16. But this was a rather expensive one there, and Nutmeg Warriors, they've gone to 63 for 2.
Yeah, but I must agree that the bowlers just look to be a little bit ruffled with the way that Regis have been playing. You know, hit him really a good shot over mid wicket, and then was able to come down and hit him, you know, over extra cover. But again, maybe it would have been better with Regis standing his ground, getting the position, put him in really a better position to play more effective shots. But I don't think Martin did use his head in terms of keeping it cool with the movement.
John bowls, full stop, full toss, that's going to go hit over the long on area. That was a lovely shot, really. I've seen so many times in cricket where full toss do get people when it's not cued very well, but that was hit in the middle of the bat. It probably went for a good 70 yards, went right underneath it and lifted it high and handsome, and went over the boundary line. That was a fine shot. 6 runs to Wavell. Benjamin is gone to 17, 69 for 2. Back delivery though.
Yes, really need to be put away and just able to get it over long on Ryan John. Just jump in, was not able to get a hand to it.
Here is a delivery again by Thomas down to the
over long on
but it went for 6 again. But that was, I think he's attempting to bowl the Yorker, isn't he?
Yeah, probably also intended to bowl the slow ball. Let's see as we look at the replay now. Full again.
Oh, yes.
Benjamin taking full advantage of it, hit it over long on, and the captain Ryan John just had to stand and look up. But two important shots, 2 important strike there. Rushes go to 75 and Benjamin goes to 23.
Both deliveries were overtossed. Maybe he was tried in for the Yorker, but there's such a very thin line between success and error when you're bowling the Yorker, and you've got to be practicing that over and over, not on the field of play, but while you're doing your net practices. That's where you've got to really develop the art of bowling the Yorker. It's the most difficult delivery to bowl. So is Thomas again in now and bowls to Benjamin. Benjamin gets a shorter delivery, looks rather awkward as that one was pulled back in length, and looking to swivel and maybe pull it behind square. Ball cannon into his leg. He's now favoring it, just maybe rubbed there a little bit. Didn't obviously not like Viv Richards. When you hit Viv Richards back then, he didn't show any pain.
He looked to hit you back.
Well, Viv told me, he said, never allow your opponent to know that you're hurt. What a wonderful philosophy. 75 for 2. Benjamin is 23. He's faced only 10 balls for those 23. Regis is 40 of 29. Here once more is a delivery that is short. He is advancing down the track and maybe got an inside edge or on the edge to this. Are they going to come back for the second? Yes, they are. Now this is great alertness on the part of Regis. Saw that the fielder then at fine leg was just toying with the ball and said, hey, we can get the second one. And the response from Benjamin was very good, and they came back for 2.
Yeah, both players very alert was Regis. As he was a lackadaisical, the fielder long on the long leg as he came up, and I guess sort of think that is a single. And they took the opportunity to rush back for another run.
Thomas is in and bowls to Benjamin. Benjamin gets a delivery that he tugs down to fine leg. Gets a single, and they will in fact come back for the second run. Ooh, a bit of an overthrow, and I think Lyndon Lawrence was just showing by an outstretched hand, hey, back up. and they saw the opportunity, ran home and got the second run rather easily, but that was not good cricket at all by Saffron. Certainly not very good.
But very good running by Regis and Benjamin. I think just a lapse with Saffron strikers, and both batsmen, they are taking the opportunity to take whatever runs that's available.
Thomas, none for 24 in room outside the leg stump. He's trying to pull away Benjamin, and he bowled it rather full just outside the off stump. Good dot ball to climax the over. So 8 overs gone. 8 overs gone. It's 79 for 2. 79 for 2. The run rate is 9.88. And as I said, Raphael, maybe just about an over ago, they would like to at least get up to that 100 mark. 10 runs per over, at least a working total.
Yeah, well, it's a good over. They had 16 in this over, and I think that that just changed the tempo a little bit. Moved from 63 to 79. As we see Benjamin taking advantage of 2 full tosses and hit for 6. But one must comment on the running between the wicket of both batsmen. Really, they are running very well, looking to pick up any singles that is possible, turning ones into twos. At 79 for 2. Regis 40 from 29, and Benjamin 27 from 13. Certainly, they would be looking to at least get up to 100 at the end of 10 overs.
Yeah, Regis has been the stabilizing factor, and I think of the 2 players out there, he's the more alert of the 2. The couple of times that they turned 1 into 2, it was his initiative, quickly calling Benjamin for whatever little minute opportunities that he saw for turning 1 into 2, and he capitalized very well indeed.
Well, Douglas first over went for 14, so he's going to continue with his second over.
Yeah, and the field is rather, well, sort of packed offside field, that. So advancing down the track is Regis, hits that inside out. That's a fine shot for 4. No, that's a lovely shot indeed. He was coming down the track, and maybe in fact Douglas might have seen him coming, but that didn't change the aggressive mindset. Now let's look at this on the replay. How lovely is this? He's advancing down the track and still managed not to hit it airborne along the carpet, bisected those 2 players, and the fielder down at long off had no chance. It went for 4. Lovely. This one is tugged down to mid-wicket. They've gone for 1. Are they going to come back for the second? No, not this time. Quite sagaciously said no. So 1 more to the total. 1 more to Regis' total, who's now scampered to 45. And the total has moved on to 84 for 2.
And what was good about that shot was the placement. As
Yes.
he came down, he really placed it beautifully. The offside field was pretty well set, but he was able to pick the gap, and he really rushed Young to that extra cover for 4.
Well, let's see what Benjamin is going to do. He's the tall of the 2. He's a right-handed. He is facing up to Douglas and outside the off stump. Wide signal by the umpire. Just thinking maybe for a fleeting moment that he could have just cut that down behind point on the offside, but didn't make contact. Here he again outside the off stump, hit hard out to cover, and the return comes in. But again, Regis is off the mark so very quickly. He was just able to amble through and got the single in a rather comfortable way in the end. Well, the current run rate has now gone up to 10, so they're right about there. And Regis, who is 45, he must be eyeing a half-century here, won't he?
He certainly deserves.
Well, he's going to reverse hit that one, and they're going to go back. Oh, I think he's going to be run out. Has a yes, run out. Good work there by the bowler. He was attempting the single, that's Josh Thomas, and Regis was not responding. In fact, he was a little bit on the stumbling mode there, is Regis, and the bowler had alertness and good frame of mind to shy at the non-striker's end, and he certainly did that. Benjamin was stranded, but I think he would well say that he played his role. Run out there by Dylan Douglas for 28. He walks off, but very, very happy, of course, with his performance. Not the fact that he was dismissed, but for just 14 deliveries for 28. I think he served this team very well. It's 86 for 3.
Yes, certainly. I think he played a good inning, and they were looking to pick up every single, as Regis say, going to for that reverse sweep. And really, he couldn't move. As he got up, he was on him, and really was not able to get back. But again, you see the positiveness of both batsmen.
Oh, he's down the track and lives that fine shot. That's gone all the way, hasn't it? Yes, 6 runs. Oh, what a lovely player he is. use his feet well, and that's the lovely thing about he's not afraid to use his feet. Did that, and so the 50 has come up for Sean Delridge. 51 with a lovely 6 there that he hit over long off. Here he is once more. Is Douglas in, balls to Regis. Regis is getting down on the knee and pulls that down to long on. They're coming back for the second no. Decides against it quite rightly too. That would have been danger. He thought about flirting with it for a moment, but decided against it in the end. So the over has come to an end. 9 overs gone. It was, a bit of an expensive one there by Dylan Douglas. He's none for 28 of 2. None for 28 of 2. And with just 1 over to go, the magic total, I would think, Raphael was first. It's got to be first and foremost to get over the 100 mark.
Yes, and what a lovely inning played by Regis. So far, and in 42 minutes, he has hit some 3 6s and 5 4s. Really have been the inning really that pushes the score up to 93 for 3 after 9 overs. And really had played some really good shots. I mean, his straight hitting was a gem to look, as we saw that a shot went straight back over the bowler's head for 6. So 93 for 3, and Regis 52 from 34, and they certainly looking now that they should get over 100.
Well, I see no reason why they wouldn't get to that 100 run, and that's milestones. Milestones are very important features in cricket. So here once more is Johns with the final over in this innings. He's in and bowls, and Regis is coming forward, drives the ball down to the sweeper position. They're coming back for the second. They've got to hurry. The return comes in. I think he's gone. Has he? Well, no. The umpire said not out, but it looked very close indeed. You know what? The keeper had to really jump, and he had to elevate himself, and I guess the fact that the return was so high, that is what maybe allowed the batsman to get home, and then after jumping, pull it down and whip the bail off.
Will be very interesting as we probably see the replay there. Obviously look close from where we are. This will give us a better idea. Seemed to be a pretty good decision.
Yeah, was close, but I think he was doing the right thing, just striding home there. That's Regis, well run. Here once more is John. In now, passes the umpire there, round the wicket and bowls to Regis. Regis is coming forward, looking to drive the top hand coming off the bat, maybe trying to drive with violence. Didn't make contact.
Yeah.
Thought the idea was right there by John to pitch the ball up.
Yeah, looking for power there. It looked as though it was in a slot from where we are. But just seemed to have missed that one. Probably a slower delivery.
John once more is in there now and bowls to Regis. Regis is looking to hit that over mid-wicket. Inadvertently gets it down to the sweeper position and gets a single. So he is now moved on to 55 is Regis. 55 of 37, 96 for 3. And Donald McDonald, I always like his name, Donald McDonald. There's a lovely ring about it. Wonder who gave him Donald. Might have been his father or mother. What do you think? Well, one would think either of them or both. Yeah, but there's a nice ring to his name, Donald McDonald. Here he is once more. John is in and bowls, and he's driving. John grasped the ball that came back to him and hurled the ball at the wicketkeeper's end, and he just managed to get out of the way. There was no measure of frustration there, was there, Raphael?
I think with the momentum, picked up and swung and let it go.
Right. I think you read it right, Raphael. There's no frustration, momentum.
Yeah. But McDonald do have the ability to hit the ball very hard, and one would think with the next 2 deliveries, really go be looking to hit it over the boundary.
Yes, come on, guys, get it up to the 100 mark. John in bowls, wayward delivery outside the arch stump, but it's inside the line. I think McDonald is looking rather quizzically down there at the umpire Dayton Butler, as if to say, that was rather wide, but said, look, that was inside the line. So, wide enough and full enough, couldn't make contact with that ball. Total remains on 96 for 3. This is the final delivery coming up, legal delivery that is, as John is there now and bowls to McDonald. McDonald is hitting that in the air. That's a shot that is really going, is gone. That's 6 runs. Well, he clobbered that. We were wondering whether they will get to the 100 run. They really did, in fact, and they're gone to 102. It stayed in the air for a long time, and for a moment, I think Martin probably felt that he was in for some sort of action, looked at it, and then the power of the shot took it over the boundary line. He got 6. So what a way to climax the innings. The last delivery, final delivery of the innings yielded a massive 6. And so the Nutmeg Warriors, from their 10 overs, they've got a run rate of 10.20, not bad at all. 102 for 3. McDonald, well, a hefty blow, not out 6. Shawnell Ridges, what a fine inning this young man has played. Not out 55, and, well, a 6. Shawnell Ridges, what a fine inning this young man has played. Not out 55, and, well, a partnership of 16 turned out to be rather valuable.
Yeah, has been a great inning played by Shawnell Ridges, carrying his bat right through, coming out with 55 not out of 37 deliveries. Really have been the driving force, the batting of the Warriors after having lost the informed Fletcher at the top. You know, he stood his ground. He really took charge and played very well. When one think of the attack against him, Martin, very quick and getting a lot of lift, he was able to deal with it. And as such, Nutmeg Warriors ended up with 102 for 3, which, in my view, is a competitive score. Looking back at the first game, 75 and 76, 77, in the 9th over, this could be a very interesting game.
It could be a good, interesting game. I certainly do agree with you, Rapel. Let's go a little bit through the scorecard. Well, Fletcher was caught Joseph down there at the deep extra cover area of the bowling of Charles. He went for 1. Shawnell Ridges was not out 55. What a wonderful innings he played. 55 of 37 balls, just 51 minutes, 9 minutes short of 1 hour. 5 4s and 3 massive 6s, and of course a scoring rate of 148. That's right up there. Akeem Alexis was caught Ryan John of the bowling of Charles, who was of course the success story there for Saffron. He went for 1, and Wavell Benjamin in the end run out by Douglas for 28, 14 balls. It was a quick fire 28 of 14. And so extras 11, just a 1 by, 3 leg bys, 7 wides. There maybe could have been well ill afforded of that. 102 for 3 of 10 overs. Now let's go through the bowling scorecard for you. Kem Charles, 2 overs, no maiden, 2 for 10. Wonderful bowling performance. Martin, 2 overs, no maiden, none for 18. Josh Thomas, 2 overs, no maiden, none for 24. Douglas, 2 overs, no maiden, none for 28. Ryan John, 2 overs, no maiden, none for 20. And the bowler of the day, in my opinion, has to be that of Kem Charles. I thought that he bowled very well.
Yes, certainly the start that Kem Charles had obviously would have pushed Nutmeg Warriors back, picking up the important wicket of Fletcher. And then after also having picked up a second wicket, I think really Kem Charles, really that would have caused a slow start for the Nutmeg Warriors. But again, one cannot speak too much of the inning of Regis, who continue to push on. Nutmeg Warriors to reach 102 for 3, which in my view could be very challenging, as Saffron strikers will need to get up to 103 for victory.
Yes, so it might well be a pretty challenging task, maybe not daunting, but rather challenging. 10.20 is the run rate, and they've got to go after 102. And this is going to be, I would think, a pretty interesting, fascinating encounter. And we'll be right here, of course, when the innings begin, second time around, to carry on the broadcast. So we'll be back, I'm told, in about 6 minutes' time. It's going to be a welcome break for us here in the commentary booth.
Deeply rooted in our rich ancestral traditions. Spice Mass, the return, a celebration of life.
Welcome to Spice Mass 2022. Reviving the spirit of our ancestors through our traditional mass. Jab, the unique celebration of freedom, drenched in black. Feel the power. The rejuvenating sound of pan. A display of colors in fancy mass. And the rebirth of calypso and soca music.
The biggest and safest summer festival in the region, August 8th and 9th. Let's go to Grenada for Spice Mass. Call your booking agents and get your tickets today.
Live from the stadium that delivered that memorable and emphatic win to the West Indies, Grenada, comes the Dream11 Spice T10 2.0 cricket combination. 30 matches, 14 days of exciting T10 cricket action. 6 teams, only one will be champions. See the likes of the Spiceman, Andre Fletcher, Devon Smith, international players Kesrick Williams, Alec Atenes, and more. Support your team. Love the game. Dream11 Spice T10 2.0 cricket competition, April 5th to the 18th, Grenada National Stadium. Pure Spice of the Caribbean.
I too have felt the impact of this pandemic and miss the days of being able to socialize with the freedom we once had. But it is in these times that we must come together to fight as one people through getting vaccinated and doing what's right. I am Aruna Neptune and I am fully vaccinated. Play your part. Keep yourselves, your loved ones, and your community protected. Spice Mass, here we come. It's our time again.
Welcome back here at the National Cricket Stadium. Nutmeg Warriors, reminding you, scored 103 for 3, and reminding you again that Shondell Ridgey's top scorer with 55. Wavell Benjamin also batted very well for his 28. So the Saffron, obviously repelled. They're going out there. They got a challenge on hand, don't they? They've got to eclipse 102. And what would be the approach? Of course, we all know Lyndon Lawrence loves to hit the ball. He goes very hard, very quickly. This might turn out to be a very interesting affair here.
Yes, we expect it to be very competitive. The likes of Lyndon Lawrence, who, as you said, loves to hit the ball. But again, Nutmeg Warriors do have the sort of bowling that would make it pretty interesting. There's Jackson, there's Kotoy, who we're going to see for the first time in this tournament. Fletcher himself would have picked up quite a number of wickets in this tournament. So it will be pretty interesting. I think the opening start will be very important for strikers if they're going to challenge that score of 102. Again, is runs on the board. They need to get it. Whereas I think that Warriors will want to pick up all the wickets.
Yes. So it's going to be Aston Jackson. It's going to be getting ready to pull to Lyndon Lawrence. He's got a third man. Squarish cover. Conventional cover. Extra cover mid-off. Mid-on. There's a mid-wicket. And there's a fine leg inside. Here's Jackson in. Bowls to Lyndon Lawrence, who gets a fine delivery. That was a lovely delivery. Peach of a delivery. One that touched down and might have just straightened a bit. And might have even come through with a little bit more pace maybe than anticipated, Lawrence. And the ball collected behind the stumps.
Yeah, good first delivery by Jackson. Does have the ability to come off really quickly off the surface. And one remembers him in last year's tournament, bowled pretty quickly. Just was a bit wide, and one remembers him bowling a lot of wide deliveries.
Jackson to Lawrence, full delivery, pitched outside the off stump. A little bit of a way movement after pitching. But Lawrence didn't really stretch that left pad down and across in the approved manner. Just stay there and flayed his hands at it. And the ball rushed past the flashing blade. There is in fact a slip in. And the third man. Squarish cover, extra cover, mid-off. Nice off-side field. Jackson stop, and would go all his way back.
Well, we have just seen that the slip is being brought into position. Akim Alexis after that second delivery.
Delivery that kept a little bit low, as maybe Lawrence, looking to pull that through mid-wicket, probably thought that the bunks would be much higher, but it was just about knee height as it went into the glove of the keeper. In fact, it didn't quite get to the keeper, dropped just in front of him. So Jackson, well, he's bowled 3 dot balls so far. So
what I've been good about is bowling that's the line, everything just outside the off. So one hopes that he'd continue there as he continued with the 4 delivery. Again, this delivery staying down a bit, but importantly the line is good.
And the keeper might be advised just to step up. Yeah. Really, because the carry is not all that good to him, and sometimes you're wondering, what should be the right attitude. You see it's not coming through. Shouldn't you just come up maybe a step or two?
Well, I think the first delivery did make some height. Obviously, it came through pretty quickly, and I would think based on that, the keeper would feel comfortable in his position. But the last few deliveries just staying on a bit. Again, seems when you bend your back, you're able to really get out of the wicket.
Here's Jackson again, in and bowls to Lawrence. Lawrence leaves us alone outside the off stump. The line has been very, very good, really good. And Lawrence just saw that one and shouldered arms. Of course, not very often you see that happening in 10-10 cricket, where a batsman shoulders arms and allows it to go into the gloves of the keeper.
Yeah, and they just seem to be getting the ball to move away from the right-hander. And Lawrence just having to let this one go. Pitch a good length and just moving away from him.
Was this going to be a maiden over, Raphael? What's
Well,
your thought?
I'm certainly not in a position to see that, and I wouldn't say it just yet. Huh?
Both flashes outside the R stump,
it-
and the keeper collects behind the stump. So that completes an over. It really is an uncharacteristic over. I say uncharacteristic from the context that not very often you see in 10-10 cricket that there is a maiden over. But a maiden over has been bowled within the power play, and Saffron strikers, they're yet to score. Clint Chateau will be taking strike. Huston Jackson bowled a very good over.
Well, it's the second maiden over we had for the day. We saw Pascal coming from the southern end, and his first over was a maiden over. It also picked up the wicket. And here we see Jackson coming from this northern end bowling a maiden over. Two bowlers that open bowl for St. David. So it's certainly pretty good start. But what have been impressive is the line that he has bowled. One remembers he struggled. Really, really struggled last year in terms of there was a number of no balls being bowled, some down the leg side. But this one, I think is probably one of his better over, which indicates that he had been doing some work. His line was good, off stump, nothing short and wide.
So here's Cyrus with the second over of the innings outside the off stump. Quick arm action there as Chateau looking to dap that out on the offside, didn't make contact, collected behind the stumps. Here's once more Cyrus from the far end. Little skip and a hop. He's there now, bowls. And he comes forward. There's a bit of start and start as Qatar ran very quickly from backward point. Covered ground about 15 yards coming in front of him. And just cut the ball off. It would have been touch and go, but I think in the end, they did the right thing, didn't go for the single. Here's a delivery that is bowled him, hasn't it? Bowled him. It might have been the googly. We'll probably see that after, but he was maybe uncertain as to whether he should come forward or go onto the back foot. And so let's watch the replay here. Cyrus got the... Oh, that was a lovely delivery. He was playing on the back foot. And it just went straight on, straight on. And so he is gone. Douglas is gone without scoring, and Saffron strikers, they're off to a bad start.
Yeah, what a good start for the Nutmeg Warriors. Again, he probably was playing for the leg break, but as you said, it just straightened, probably came back a little bit, but rushed onto him, and he being on the back foot, he missed, and that really crashed into the middle stump. Very good start, and Cyrus again looking this first few deliveries just looked to be pitching on a good length, and so the batsman there playing on his back foot and was beaten one for pace, and certainly I think his judgment was not the best, and that went into the middle stump.
So Chateau goes without scoring as Douglas will replace him. Here is Cyrus is in now and bowls, and he is off the back foot and cuts that down to the backward point. And there was Kotoy in a rather nonchalant way, grasped the ball as if it was the easiest thing in the world. So here he is again, Cyrus. In now, bowls, and he's coming for driving well down the ground. This is going to be touch and go. They've gone for one, won't come back for the second. The return comes to the bowler's end, and they get one. So he is off the mark. It's Douglas. He's gone to one, and Saffron strikers going after a victory target of 103. They're 1 for 1. As Cyrus will get ready to bowl to Lawrence, who will be facing him for the first time, isn't it? Yes, he'll be facing him for the first time. Looks up now as here is Cyrus in. Well, he started, turned around, aborted his movement in, and would now authentically move in now and bowls, and he is hitting that in the air, and the ball drops just in front of Kotoy. That was airborne for quite some time. Just wondered whether either of these two players, the bowler and the fielder, couldn't make a more gallant effort. That stayed quite a long time in the air.
Well, I think it was really poor cricket by the fielder fielding in mid-off. We'll probably pick up his name in a while, but it stayed long in the air, and really he coming in, really should come in a lot faster to get to that ball, where Cyrus had to run back. And that just dropped just a few feet in front of him. Really should have picked up that catch.
Oh, I think that was a let off, wasn't it? So 1 for 1. It is a sorry sight, though. I say 1 for 1 because this is 10-10 cricket, and after 2 overs, 1 for 1. Did we miss a ball?
Well, Jackson. We just wait officially for scorers.
Okay, so Alexis Moses is going to be bowling from the northern or Dabo end, and he's getting ready to bowl to Douglas. Just dusting his hand on the ground to make sure that it's dry. Moves in, passes the umpire now on bowls, and he is tugging that down to the deep backward square. Well, the fine leg position, the fine leg fielder is in. That went over the head of the fine leg fielder. Not very fine he was though, and it went down to the boundary for 4. So welcome boundary there for Douglas, who's now gone on to 5, and Saffron strikers the 5 for 1.
Yeah, just trained down the leg side a bit. It was short shortish in length, and he just helped it over that short fine leg position and going down to the boundary for 4. But Douglas looks pretty positive when he comes in and really looking to put back the ball.
Moses to Douglas, tugs that down to the deep mid-wicket area. That's going to go over the boundary line now. That's 4 runs. Well, this time he hit that way in front of square and went down to the mid-wicket area. 4 runs to him. So 2 good productive blows there by Douglas. Just came inside, used a lot of bottom hand. I don't think that's where he really wanted it to go, and went down to the mid-wicket area. 4 runs. The total has now moved on to 9 for 1. Here it's once more. Moses in bowls, and he is hitting that high and hard over the mid-wicket area, and that's gone for 6. You know what? He kept his pose. That was a lovely shot. It was pitched up right in the slot, and gee whiz, he just went across, got right under it, and he hit that like Allah, Andre Fletcher would do. And that went sweetly soaring through the heavens over the boundary line. That's gone for 6. Wonderful shot. And the momentum is building. Is 15 for 1.
Tremendous shot played by Douglas here. And the good thing, he was into position and he just whipped it. And Traveller hold. This one is hit over the keeper head. Another short delivery. And he took advantage, looking to swing it. Probably come up the top of the bat, but safely over the keeper head, and yet down to the boundary for another 4.
Well, this is proven to be very expensive indeed, and it was in fact a poor delivery, slanting down the leg side, and was looking to maybe just help his on his way. Took more the top edge of the bat and went over the keeper's head for 4. So Moses is in for a real rough tide here. He's none for 18 of 4 deliveries. Moves in once more to bowl to Douglas. Douglas is looking to turn that behind square. We'll have to wait to see what the umpire would signal, whether he got a nick onto that. No, he didn't. So the umpire just suggesting that Dayton Butler there from St. Vincent the Grenadines, former Windward Islands and St. Vincent the Grenadines, and of course West Indies fast bowler, just signaling a leg by. So the total has gone out to 20 for 1, brings Lawrence now into strike, as Moses is in now and bowls to Lawrence. Lawrence is having a big swing at that one. He's nowhere to the pitch of the ball at all. That completes the over. A dot ball there, and at the end of the second over, thanks to a really big over there of Moses, after 3 overs, beg your pardon, 20 for 1, and they require further 84 from 42.
Yeah, good over for Saffron strikers. Moses just a bit short in length and seemingly strained down the leg side a bit. And I think Douglas, who was showing really positive intent, being very aggressive from the time he comes into the wicket, took advantage, hitting a beautiful shot over the wide mid-wicket for 6 and still able to pick up 2 boundaries. So good over for Saffron strikers, 20 for 1 in 3 overs. And the battle is really on.
Well, Cyrus has had a very good over, comes in now and bowls, and he is hitting that ball down to the mid-wicket area. They've gone for 1. We'll come back for the second. The return comes in, and I think he's gone. Yes, he's gone. Well, he was really screaming, go back. It was always going to be a dangerous second run. The fielder came in there from mid-wicket. The return came to the bowler's end. It was sharp, it was fast, it was swift, and the bails were in fact plucked off. and Lyndon Lawrence stranded. They've lost their second wicket. It's 21 for 2 as Lawrence goes without scoring.
Good work by Akem Charles. They came in quickly and it always looked dangerous. If he picked up that ball, for him to get back for 2, it would have been tight. One bounce and Lawrence was caught short of his ground. Again, good work by the fielder.
Yeah, I mean, we were into over number 3 and
4.
number 4, is it?
4.
Yeah, and I would think that now he's Lyndon Lawrence is walking out, being run out by Hakeem Alexis without scoring. Not very often you see that.
Yeah, certainly would have there for quite a while. Want to check the amount of deliveries that he faced, although he didn't get much of the strike. But
8 balls.
But 8 balls, and he didn't get off. And the type of player he is, loves to hit the ball.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic of him. It's not very often. So it's 27 for 2. Delon Douglas. Well, he did in fact just hit a huge 6 over the mid-wicket area. As here once more Cyrus moves in and bowls. And he is driving, hitting that well over the fielder there at mid-off. That's gone to the boundary for 4. Beautiful shot. Timed it well. The fielder, of course, is inside the circle. And he lifted it with great purpose and intent over that mid-off area, down to the boundary for 4. So Douglas has pushed on very quickly. He scored the bulk of the runs. He's gone to 30, and Saffron strikers, they're 31 for 2.
Yeah, safe shot by Douglas. Just dropping one bounce and it goes over the line.
Cyrus bowls, and he is bowled him, has he? Yeah. Or is it leg before? Might be leg before. Oh, and the finger of the umpire went up rather quickly, I dare say. So, well, he's got something to celebrate. Let's look at it. Oh, wrapped him on right in front. And from the moment he was struck on right on the back foot there, you knew he was out. Now look at the response of the keeper. Now let's get the action replay. Wrapped on the pad, the appeal went up, and the keeper began to celebrate. The ball was celebrating even before the umpire put his hands up. He knew that it was leg before.
Well, it was a vigorous appeal, and it did go on for a little while before the umpire would have put up his hand. But it was the right decision. He was struck in front. Again, is one that seemed to rush through as he came forward and just strike him on the pad. And the umpire, even though it stayed quite a while, but it was very clear he was sitting in front.
You think that the celebration was too early? Was it premature?
No, I don't think so. From time he was hit, Cyrus is in there, the keeper was in there. I think it went on for a while because probably the hand stayed too long to go up.
I know.
Certainly a good blow struck. I hope Douglas was really...
I hope the match referee doesn't interpret it like the way that you've done. So Cyrus has picked up 2 for 12. The new batsman is John, who just pulls away. So a lot would depend on these two in Michael Joseph and, of course, Rand John. As here he's in now and bowls outside the house off the back foot. And it's not easy, really. Oh, I think he's going to be run out. Yes, he is. Kieran Kotoy, there at backward point. The ball was hit there to his right, and he scrambled, really hurled himself to his right, pulled off a spectacular save, and then the return. He had the alertness and the frame of mind to hurl the return to the non-striker's end. And wow, what a wonderful piece of fielding that was. It was really spectacular. And I mean, the batsman's got to go back disconsolately, but what a wonderful piece of fielding there by Kieran Kotoy.
Yeah,
and so he's run out.
Top class fielding by Kotoy. As we know, he's probably one of the best fielders on the team. And certainly the ball was hit very hard by Ryan John. We're probably going to have a chance to look at it again. He really crashed the backward square, and we see a diving effort, and he picked up. And Joseph was on his way, but he rifled it back, the non-striker. And the non-striker was found wanting, really great feeling. We are seeing some tremendous feeling by the fielders.
Yes, rare, but that was really spectacular. That was really well done. He's such an outstanding fielder, is Kotoy. He enjoys his fielding. I think he enjoys his fielding as much as he enjoys his batting and bowling. one of the more outstanding all-rounders that we've gotten in the Windward Islands Volcanoes lineup. So 31 for 4, 31 for 4. Kim Charles comes out to join Ryan John, who to this delivery is off the back foot and cuts that behind point. This going to go all the way, yes. 4 runs. Lovely shot outside the off stump. John was on the back foot, saw the ball was just moving away from him, and he cut it behind square. Now there is a backward point and a squarish cover, and that was able to go between both fielders down to the boundary for 4. It was a lovely shot indeed. And so he's off the mark. Is John? He's gone to 4. And after how many overs we've gone there?
4.
4 overs gone. After 4, it's 35 for 4.
Yeah, good shot by John, and you could see him waiting and play just a little bit late. So he beat Cotoy, who was at backward point. Just went a bit to his left, and went down to the boundary for 4. So a good positive shot. It's actually replay shot in the one that he played before it was cut off, and this one he was able to beat the field and went down to the boundary for 4.
Well, Cyrus has picked up 2 for 16, and of course he'll be very happy with his performance. Saffron Strikers will be very happy indeed with his bowling performance. So Charles and John, they've got a bit of restoration work to do, both of them. 35 for 4. So it's going to be Sheldon Joseph. Yes, Sheldon Joseph is going to be moving in. He's there now and bowls outside the off stump. Wayward delivery was just verging on a wide, but I guess right inside there. They require 69 of 36. That's the equation. Charles is 4. John just called him down and had a word with him as the long off is pushed right back on the boundary, mid off rather, pushed back to long off. Here's a delivery that is outside the off stump off the back foot, carts the ball down to the sweeper position. Will get a single there, Charles. So he's now gotten off the mark. He's gone to 1. Ryan John now comes into strike. Lot would depend upon him, won't it?
Yeah, most definitely. It will be John will be required now to play captain's inning. We know his ability to hit the ball. He really need to put his head down and bat, probably even try to take most of the strike. We into the 5th over, and he will want to take as much of the strike as possible.
Here's a delivery that is Katoy is coming in like a feline of species. He's so cat-like in his approach. What a wonderful feeler he is. Came in quickly and stopped any chance or thought of a single at backward point. John.
Great move by Katoy. He came in on that ball, just seemingly being away from him, but he just stretched and pull it in with both hands.
Joseph bowls to John. John is looking to hike that over the mid-wicket area. And does he make contact? Let's see what umpire Dighton Butler said. No, he didn't make contact. Or at least contact was made with his body. So leg by signal by the umpire. The total is moved by 1 now to 37. The current run rate 7.93. The required run rate is 12.56. Here is a delivery bowled up and driven up to the mid-wicket area. The catch taken down at deep mid-wicket. So he is gone, Charles. Cut down at the deep mid-wicket boundary. He's gone for 1. And Saffron Strikers, they are in further trouble. They've now plunged to 37 for 5.
Yeah, a good slow delivery ball by Joseph there. And as it came in, Charles just whipped it, but hit it straight down to the deep mid-wicket, who just came in and took a simple catch. Again, the 5th wicket is down, 37 for 5. He still in the 5th over. And Nutmeg Warriors just seem to be hitting back very hard.
Yeah, they're certainly doing that. And it's been something like a procession so far. 35. And of course, out of those 35, Raphael, we've got to take note that Dylan Douglas, he scored 30 of those. So the other 5 batsmen, they accounted for just 7 runs. Yeah. Inclusive, of course, of the extras. That's interesting, isn't it? Well, so the new batsman there now is Javon Andrew. he is coming forward and pushes the ball down to the open the face of the got that ball down to the deep third man boundary for 4. It looked so much as though it was just going to be a gentle push, and it went for 4.
Well, actually, the timing was right. It was right up to John, and he really had to come down on it and just squeezed away the third man on the boundary and the backward point. And really, the third man had no chance as it went across the ropes of 4.
Yeah, squirted it that down to the third man area and got 4 run, but it never looked like 4. And again, it just tells you how very fast the outfield is here. It's very, very quick indeed. You've got to be a sharp fielder if the ball is timed very well to be able to cut it off. So the midway portion of the innings has just come. 5 overs gone with Andrew not out, no score. He's yet to face a ball, and John is 8 of 5, 41 for 5.
Well, the leg spin of Kotoy now going to pick it up from that southern end, and he's going to be bowling to Andrew. But Ryan John look pretty good so far. He's on 8 with 2 boundaries, but does look really positive, and a lot will depend on him if they're going to get anywhere close to that total.
Here's Kotoy moving in now and bowls to Andrews. Andrews off the back foot and looking to hit the ball down maybe to mid-off, but a bit cramped there. Succeeding getting it over to a short extra cover. Can't score. The total remains on 41 for 5. Kotoy once more in now and bowls to Andrew, who to this delivery is off the back foot and looking to cut. Ooh. And is he bowled? Oh, he's bowled him. He was off the back foot there. He should have been maybe thinking to come forward and dislodge the bails. I think the off stump is pushed back. Here we were in fact impeded by the keeper. He was off the back foot. Really should not have been playing back to that at all. He was guilty of being on the wrong foot. And so Andrew goes without scoring, bowled, comprehensively bowled there by Kotoy. And Saffron strikers, they've plunged themselves into the morass of trouble. They're 41 for 6 and not a good sight at all on the scorecard.
Yeah, bad judgment by Andrew. Really was not in position. The ball was very close to him, so he didn't have the room. It was not short enough to play that shot, but again, he was looking to hit it down the backward point, and that ball just crashed into the stumps. A really bad shot there, and again, a plunge Warriors and strikers right into more trouble, losing the 6th wicket at 41.
Well, Kobe John has replaced Andrew when he just went back rather disconsolately. Here is Kotoy in now and bowls to, well, he didn't bowl at all. He was attempting to bowl and then has to go right back. So Kobe John faces up. Here's Kotoy in now and bowls, and he is looking to hit that out to mid-wicket, and he does so, gets his first run. So he's off the mark. He's gone to 1. Ryan John, who's been looking on rather interestingly, he now comes into strike. He's now on 8, 42 for 6. So those are the 2 main scorers so far for Saffron. The others have been a rather dismal sight. They require 62 of 27 balls. It's gettable, but it's not easy, is it?
Yeah, well, John is really going to have to play this sort of innings that really going to bring them very close. Well, he had to play probably one of his better innings in this version of the game. As T10, you need one batsman really to come good, and 2 overs could change the situation. So
Kotoy is in now and bowls to John. John gets a short delivery that he pulls in the air, goes down to the long on position. They've only they decided just to go for the single. Well, they amble a single, so to speak.
But they will be happy to give away the singles, but obviously just to avoid the boundaries.
Here's Kotoy in, bowls to Kobe John, who is off the back foot, plays that nicely out to extra cover. Fletcher comes in very quickly. Picks the ball up and threatens to shy at the non-strikers end, but nobody decides to run, which was quite right too. Total remains on 43 for 6. As Kotoy, who's going to move he's going to move his mid-off and ask him to go his fine leg a little bit wider delivery that is pushed up to long off, and they will in fact get a single. So one more to John, who's now gone on to 2. That Nicobe John brings Ryan John into strike now, as the over has come to an end, hasn't it? Yes, so the over has come to an end. So total has gone to 44 for 6. 6 overs gone, so they need to get some 60 runs of 4 overs. That's 24 balls.
Yeah, a difficult task to score 60 in the last 4 overs. Strikers have already lost some 6 wickets, and really John would be called upon to play probably one of the better innings that he have played if they're going to get up to 104 for victory. After 6 overs, it's 44 for 6.
Right, so Nicobe John is taking strike. He's just been ensuring that he gets what he wants. That's a middle stump guard. And is that Joseph? Would move in now to bowl to John, who to his deliveries off the back foot hits the ball hard out to a shortish extra cover, where the skipper is there in Andrew Fletcher, coming in very quickly and cheering his teammates on, leading by example. Was fleet-footed there. Here he is once more. Joseph in bowls, and that ball is tugged down to the long on area, and will get a comfortable single.
Yeah, ball pitched up, and John is looking for the big drive. Just tug it a bit as it went down to long on, and he picked up a single. Ryan John comes into the strike. He's 9 from 6 deliveries, and he certainly is a player that can make the difference. And he beaten beautiful delivery, pitch, and really seemed to cut back in. John was completely beaten as he was looking to come forward and push it on the offside. And that ball went past the bat. Good delivery.
Yes. If you look at the replay, you can see him pushing down, almost playing down the wrong line. Here is Joseph in, bowls, advances down the track, hits that in the air. The catch is going to be taken down at the deep sweeper position. And so Ryan John, he goes for 9, cut down at the deep sweeping position. And again, the strikers, Saffron strikers, they're in for the trouble. It's now 45 for 7.
Well, he would have made up his mind before that delivery came, because really it was not there for the type of shot he wanted to play. It was short of a length, it was wide off the off stump. And he came down and really tried to clear that extra cover on the boundary. And suddenly he didn't get enough into it. And Akim Alexis on the boundary came in and take a very simple catch. So 45 for 7, it's really all about over.
Yeah, well, they say cricket is a game of glorious uncertainty, and just when you think things are over, you have great turnarounds. But it'll have to be a rather miraculous turnaround on the part A of the Saffron strikers to really make a contest out of this. But so far, not so good.
And that's the beauty of this beautiful game called cricket, you know. Things can change so quickly.
New batsman is Jelani George, and that delivery is hit down to the extra cover area, 4 runs. Fletcher was really trying to cut that off. It was struck powerfully to his right, and it came rather quickly. I think maybe much quicker than anticipated. And his effort was failing in vain. Went down to the extra cover area, 4 runs to Nicobe John, and he'll be delighted with that. But you'll need many more like those. Here, once more, it's Joseph bowls, and he's coming forward and hits that down to the long off position, gets a comfortable single. So, one more to his total. He is now gone on to what? He's gone to 8 of 7. The 50 has come up. 50 for 7, and over number 7 completed. They require 54 from 18.
Yes, and one aspect that you'll see John now just looking to make use of the boundary. He will try to get the boundary as regular as possible. With 7 wickets down, just 18 balls to go, some 54 runs to get, and he will have to play this sort of inning that is needed to get close to that score.
So George settles over his bat, as it's going to be Kotoy with his second over. It's bowled very well. His first over yielding only 3. Captured 1 wicket so far. Tosses the ball from hand to hand, moves in from the far end, the River Road end, and bowls. And he hits that in the air. That's going to go a long way. I think it's going to go down that 6 runs. Lovely shot there by Nicobi John. Just got down on one knee and lifted it high and handsome over with mid-wicket. There was no iffiness about the shot. And even Akim Alexis, I think it is, down there, just looked at it in a rather helpless manner as he saw it sailed over his head. That was a fine shot. It was a big shot too. Here once more is Kotoy bowls. He tucks that down to long on. Now they've hustled for 1. I don't think they're going to come back for the second. No, they won't. The return comes in very quickly to the non-strikers end. 1 bounce into the bowler's hand. So 1 more to Nicobi John, who's gone now to 15, 57 for 7, as Jelani George now comes in to strike for the first time.
George will want to give John most of the strike, maybe push it around and give him the opportunity. He has shown that he can clear the boundary with ease.
Here is Kotoy bowls, and he is coming forward and bowled. Oh my gosh. I thought for a fleeting moment it might have taken the inside edge, but the bails have been dislodged, and so he is gone. John bowled by Kotoy without scoring, and they have found themselves even in greater trouble now. Saffron strikers at 57 for 8.
Yes, what he should be doing, just push it and allow John to come back into strike. But again, he's looking for the big shot, and just seemed to play down the wrong line as we look at the replay, coming off the bat and just onto the stumps. Strikers losing the 8th wicket, 57 for 8, and really steering down the barrel.
Yes, it was an inside edge. It was a big inside edge too, and he was playing with the bat away from the body, and that's one of the reasons. And across the line of the ball too. So all of those combinations were what resulted in his downfall. So the new batsman there at the crease now is Darius Martin, and he's facing up to Kotoy. Nicobi John is at the non-strikers end on 15. Here once more is Kotoy. This time he's bowling one that came back, might have been the googly, and he was off the back foot looking to cut that ball down behind square. Succeeded in getting it to a short third man, can't score. So Darius Martin remains on no score. He's yet to score. 57 for 8. As Kotoy is in once more, bowls to Martin. Martin gets a faster delivery. That he goes onto the back foot, tucks it round to backward square onto the leg side. But no, the umpire signaled that it came off the thigh rather than off the bat. So he still will have to wait to get off the mark as John comes in to strike. Total now moves on by that leg by to 58 for 8. Nicobi John 15 looks up and sees that Kotoy is moving in to bowl to him, and it's a short delivery and faster one too, just push through, and the keeper doing very well behind the stumps. The over comes to an end. So at the end of the over, Kotoy 2 overs, no miss, picked up 2 for 10. Joseph has had 2 for 11 of 2 overs, and the current run rate just 7.25. They've got to score at 23. It's 58 for 8.
Yes, and Nutmeg Warriors would have really strike back very hard, find themselves in a good position with the 2 overs to go, still 46 runs required. And really, so far, have been an impressive performance by the Nutmeg Warriors as we look at the bowling of Nutmeg Warriors bowlers. It started with Jackson, who, started off very well, bowling a very good over, and the pressure was kept on. They never really got off to the sort of start that is necessary, and as such, has struggled to 58 for 8.
Yeah, really struggled indeed. 103 turned out to be a very good total. and a bit of an adjustment. And Fletcher is moving the sweeper there on the offside, bringing him inside the circle. So there is a third man. There's a deep backward point right back on the boundary. Conventional cover, extra cover in the mid-off. That's the offside field. As here is Jackson in now, and Bowles down the leg side and turned out behind square there by Martin, and gets a single. So he's off the mark. What did the umpire signal? He didn't signal, did he?
No,
So
it seemed to come off the bat.
Got off the bat. So 1 to Martin is off the mark, and the total has moved now to 59 for 8, brings Nicobe John into strike. Jackson again there now, and balls to John down the leg side, looking to turn that maybe down to fine leg. I think the ball may have just cannoned into the pad and ricocheted out on the onside as the keeper pulling off his glove rather quickly prevented the batsman from crossing for the single. 59 for 8.
Yeah, interesting. Dave Fletcher just having a word with Jackson. He just seemed to be strained down the leg side. You know, as I said before, is one of the issues that there was a lot of discussion in terms of his line. But Nutmeg Warriors do boast of very good bowlers in their squad. The likes of Sirius, and you have Cottoy as leg spinners.
Here is Jackson. Bowles, the batsman was pulling outside the leg stump, and Jackson saw that and quite wisely sinked it into the batsman's body, cramped him for space and for room, wasn't able to free his arms, and the ball hit the bottom of the bat, went back to the bowler who picked up on his follow through. Still 59 for 8.
Yeah, as we look at the bowlers, there is Fletcher himself, and there's also Regis, who really does a good job.
Jackson to John down the leg side, wayward delivery, no chance at all for the keeper. 4 wide signal by the umpire. Now that was a really naughty delivery indeed, slanting down the leg side, and it went screaming. 4 wide signal by the umpire, and that obviously was a really poor delivery.
Well, when we look at Jackson in his first over, and this one just seemed to be the opposite. Everything just seemed to be heading down the leg side. And as we look at him as he runs up and bowl, I think his lack of focus and concentration, just, his head one way and his hands going the other way. And that ball really went really far down the leg side. And he just need to settle himself and get it right. They're not under pressure.
He's in, balls to John. John gets one down the leg side again, a wide. But this is, Rapel, so much in contrast to his first over. His first over was rather impeccable. This one, he's all over the place, predominantly down the leg side. Not good bowling at all, 66 for 8.
Yeah, well, I wonder if I spoke a bit too early because, this was the issue last year, but he started off so well. One got the impression that he had it right. But he come back in his second over and continues to bowl down the leg side.
He's in now and bowls to John from around the wicket. Hit back past the bowler. They've hustled for 1. I don't think they'll come back for the second. No, they won't. Quite rightly too. The return goes to the keeper's end. So 1 more to the total. Total has now gone on to 67. Nicobe John is 16. Martin, who is 1, comes into strike. So they require 37 of 8. We're not short of a miracle to get there. It's one of those tasks that almost want to say it's impossible. Here he is now moving in once more. He's there, Jackson, and bowls, and he's bowled him. Oh, well, he was looking for the big shot because he knew that it was needed, Martin, and he kept the ball right on the stump there. And so they've lost another wicket, but it was a good delivery. When you see how badly he bowled in the over so far, got this one right on target, and so that's the end of an innings that didn't have anything really much to worry the scorers about. So Saffron strikers 67 for 9, and Nicobe John, he's still outside there, he's on 16. But Josh Thomas comes out to join him, and it's just about 1 more wicket to go. They need, though, some 37 of 7 balls.
Well, I don't think Martin had much of a choice. So really had to try to get back to ball. But again, good delivery, bowled by Jackson. He was on the stump. And Martin, I would think, looking to hit some over mid-wicket. And he made no contact. So that ball crashed into the stumps. So 9 for 67. And Jackson picking up his first wicket for 8 runs. And Nutmeg Warriors, is really putting on a very good show, bowling show here this afternoon, just to try and assure victory in the first encounter.
Yeah, but we're ashamed to see them dismissed for, under the required 10 overs. They've got 7 deliveries to go, though. Here's Jackson. He's going to be moving in to bowl to Josh Thomas. He is passing the umpire now on balls, and Thomas is coming forward and just pushes the ball down to long on. We'll get a rather comfortable single as the batsman ambles through for that. So that completes the over. Jackson, 2 overs, 1 maiden. He picked up 1 for 9. Don't forget that his first over was a maiden, wasn't it? And so just the final over coming up, and 36 needed. And except you might be a Ravi Sastry or a Kieran Pollard or maybe a Sir Garfield Sobers. It may not be the easiest thing in the world to get some 36 of 6 deliveries.
Yeah, with 9 wickets down, really. Yeah, but I think Fletcher will be very happy with the performance of his bowlers. They only got up to 103. Fletcher himself not doing much, and the bowlers were able to really come back strongly. And to have strikers at 68 for 9, I think all the bowlers would have done very well. Really didn't give the strikers a chance, as the batsmen struggled from over number 1.
So this is the final over of the innings. Ball tucked down to hit down to the long on area, gets a comfortable single. So 1 more to the total, which has now gone on to what? Is it 69? Scoreboard just a little on the slower side. 69 for 9 as John now comes into strike. Here he is once more coming in there, Moses and bowls, and he is hitting that out to the cover area, and the catch has been taken. It was a stinging one though. It was traveling rather quickly, so they've all been dismissed. John has just gone there, caught there at the cover area. He's gone for 16. And Saffron strikers, well, as I just said, it was hit very hard. It was some catches like those I've seen them gone down, but he grasped it very well. So that completes the innings, as John was there, caught there by Fletcher of Alex Moses for 16. 69 all out Saffron strikers, 69 all out, and it was nothing short, Rapel, of what you might well describe as a dismal performance.
Yeah, it was. But again, credit had to be given to Nutmeg Warriors. I think it was convincing, and you could see them going in with confidence, even though they got up to 103. You could feel them going out there with confidence, knowing that it would have been a challenge for strikers to get up to that score. But they started well. They bowled well, as I said before. The opening over bowled by Jackson, and they were able to keep it very tight, picked up the wickets along the way, and there was never really any partnership or that signal or show that they were getting over the bowling, and as such, they never really were able to take charge at any point in time, and they were shot out for 69.
Yes, shot out for 69. Let's quickly give you the batting scorecard here. So Lyndon Lawrence was run out by Alexis, went without scoring 8 balls. He must be very disappointed. Clint Chateau was bowled by Cyrus without scoring. Dylan Douglas let before to Cyrus for 30. Just 11 balls he faced and struck some 4 4s and 2 6s. Michael Joseph run out by Kotoy without scoring. Ryan John, the captain, was caught Alexis of the bowling of Joseph, went for 9. Kim Charles with Cott McDonald. That's Donald McDonald of the bowling of Joseph. He went for 1. Jabbar Andrew was comprehensively bowled by Katoy, playing off the back foot. He should have been on the front foot, went without scoring. Kobe John, the last one to go, was Scott Fletcher there. Bowl Moses for 14 balls, 20 minutes at the crease, 1-4 and 1-6. Jelani George was bowled by Katoy without scoring. Doris Martin was bowled by Huston Jackson for 1. Josh Thomas not out 2. So extras were 10, leg bys 3, wides 6, 1 no ball, and the total all out 69 all out of 9.2 overs. Of 9.2 overs, it means that Nutmeg Warriors, they won by some 34 runs. Well, we will in fact give you the lineup for tomorrow God's willing game. And Bayleaf Blasters will be coming up against Nutmeg Warriors. That match is going to start at 11:45 tomorrow, God's willing. And later on in the afternoon, as 2:30, as this one in fact did start, we will have Cinnamon Pacers. They're going to be coming up against Ginger General. So just to repeat that, tomorrow, God's willing, that will be day 2 of the tournament. Bayleaf Blasters coming up against Nutmeg Warriors, and Cinnamon Pacers will be coming up against Ginger General. The first match begins tomorrow at 11:45, and later on in the afternoon at 2:30, that's when Cinnamon Pacers will be coming up against Ginger General. So Nutmeg, they've won by 34 runs. And Saffron Strikers, of course, they've suffered a massive defeat. They were all out for 69. So, of course, a great privilege to have brought you the description of the 2 matches today. We look forward to a bright and wonderful day tomorrow, where we will bring you coverage on the 2 games. Until then, please enjoy the rest of your afternoon or the night or the morning, based upon where you're listening and viewing the broadcast.
Live from the stadium that delivered that memorable and emphatic win to the West Indies, Grenada, comes the Dream11 Spice-Isle T10 2.0 cricket combination. 30 matches, 14 days of exciting T10 cricket action. 6 teams, only 1 will be champions. See the likes of the Spiceman, Andre Fletcher, Devon Smith, international players Kesrick Williams, Alec Atenes, and more. Support your team. Love the game. Dream11 Spice-Isle T10 2.0 cricket competition, April 5th to the 18th, Grenada National Stadium, Pure Spice of the Caribbean.